We finally got our man. Joao Cancelo is a Manchester City player after a long, tedious and protracted transfer saga, but it doesn't matter anymore. We've got that flying Portuguese wingback that we desperately wanted, and I'm very, very excited, genuinely very excited for the transfer. So today we're going to take a deep dive into what he could bring to Manchester City. But for now though, I want to say thank you to Unibet for once again sponsoring this channel during this transfer window. A fantastic transfer blog they've got over there, so go and check it out in the link in the description below for loads of transfer news goodness. For now though, we're going to talk about Joao Cancelo because it's absolutely awesome news and I'm genuinely delighted with this transfer. At first, at the start of the summer, I was like, okay, we're in for this guy now. I must confess, admittedly, I went into a bit of Britney Spears there, showing my age. I didn't know too much about him. I knew about his name, of course, but I hadn't watched him regularly. And the more I thought about this transfer, the more I got really excited by it, the more I started to dive deep into what this guy could bring, and the more I wanted him at Manchester City because what he could mean to this team and what he could give someone like Guardiola. What options he could Guardiola, and now we've finally got him. Obviously, I can't really mention this transfer without saying a big thank you to Danilo. He's gone the other way. A good player, Danilo, often underappreciated by large portions of Manchester City fans, myself included. A player that you don't really realise how much you're going to miss him until he's not there. Fantastically useful squad member, never complained, just got on with it and put in plenty of excellent performances when we needed him. Maybe not quite the level to be trusted regularly by Guardiola, but it didn't matter in the end. He was still very, very useful. Also, I apologise if the lighting's a bit off. The curtains are a bit bright today and all that kind of stuff, but I'll crack on anyway. But Danilo has gone, and in his replacement, we've got Joao Cancelo to offer something else going forward. He's already got plenty of experience. Which is one of the things why I quite like about him. This guy is used to playing at big clubs. Started out with Benfica, and he was there at the same time as a young Ederson and Bernardo Silva were knocking about. Then he had a loan to Valencia. He got in the Liga team of the season while at Valencia. Then he went to Inter on loan for a bit. Then Juventus. And he's big. He's basically a big club kind of guy, and he gets about a little bit. It's weird that they've sold it in general. He was quite popular amongst Juventus fans, and they really didn't want him to go, but they needed some money after some, big kind of money transfers. Well, the Lit in particular, Pellegrini came in as well, but they also put big money on contracts for Buffon, Rabiot, Ramsey. So in general, they needed to let someone go, and they're obviously still, of course, linked to Lukaku quite a lot. Sarri at one point apparently did want him to stay, then he didn't want him to stay, but eventually decided to let him go, and now he's a Manchester City player for a respectable fee for around 27 million allegedly plus Danilo, and apparently he's on under 100k a week. That might be bullshit, but that's what I've heard. Either way, it's a very decent play, and this is why I'm excited to see him come in as well, because it's not just about a right back, it's what he can bring. But that fee in general, when you look at the market these days, it's roughly around what Juventus would have wanted to be, but it seems quite reasonable, really. I can't really complain there. If we felt like we got basically what we wanted out of Danilo during his time at Manchester City, and a little bit on top there for Cancelo, it's a reasonable price, and I'm just glad we've got a solution for both parties, for Danilo's future, where he'll go and win more trophies Juventus, because that guy is a trophy magnet, and now Cancelo, he comes in, and it's the style of the play that I'm so excited about, because he's simply something that we do not have on that right-hand side. And you think about Guardiola fullbacks, you usually think about flying fullbacks that can get forward, and apart from Mendy, who was meant to be that, but he's been injured, we've not really had that so far for Guardiola. We've had Kyle Walker, who doesn't really have the adeptness to get forward and contribute regularly as an attacking fullback. We've had Delph, who's kind of been an inverted fullback thing due to injuries, Zinchenko as well. It doesn't really have that bulldozing kind of pace and skill that you'd expect when you think of the likes of, Jordi Alba or Dani Alves. And now we've got someone who is just genuinely excellent going forward. We've not really had that on the right so far, and I can't wait to see what Guardiola gets out of Cancelo. He has this incredible kind of stride. He can power past people with his pace, and he has that kind of strong acceleration that make fullbacks like him so dangerous. He isn't the kind of guy to do 4-step overs and beat a man. He simply just knocks the ball past him, goes past him with ease. He can dry you into gaps and take out 2 or 3 people at the same time. Danilo could do a little bit of that, but with nowhere near the same technical excellence as Cancelo. He's a lot more adept at doing that kind of thing. Pace, power, gliding past people, getting forward. And his both feet are good as well. Technically, he's very adept. He's also linked up quite a lot as well with Bernardo, so we've seen he can do that for Portugal. So he can get to the byline, he can cross the ball. Walker, as I said, isn't the best of that, so it's nice to see someone at the right who could do that. Despite how good Walker's been recently, and what I quickly mentioned his heroics in the Community Shield, fantastic display there. I wasn't obviously around during that for personal reasons, but he was fantastic that day. I watched it back a little bit. But it's nice to see see someone like Cancelo come in. You also, I mean, it's kind of a bonus. He knows Bernardo's style really well. They were together briefly at Benfica. He obviously played alongside Bernardo regularly for Portugal. So there's going to be a little bit of kind of synergy between those two instinctively. And he's a proper old school fullback that can get past people. And I really like that. And also, I'm excited just because he gets to basically be something else for Guardiola to play with. Like, as I said earlier, I can't remember the last time Guardiola had someone like a Dani Alves type. But even though I'm not saying he's that level yet, I think Guardiola will look at Cancelo and see Dani Alves and think, I could do something similar with this lad. Cancelo is known for being one of the best attacking right-backs in world football, but he's still not reached the zenith of his game yet. He's only 25 years old. He definitely can get better. And if there's one manager who can get players better into another level, it's Pep Guardiola. When you think about Guardiola's teams at Barcelona, people think about Messi and Iniesta and Xavi, but they don't realise that Dani Alves was basically as important tactically to Guardiola as those players, as Xavi and Messi. Dani Alves was super influential. He was absolutely critical to that team. And it's no wonder that Guardiola tried to bring to Manchester City before the whole Paris Saint-Germain thing, and even looked at him again this summer. Basically, Alves was very important, but we've not had anyone yet at the right back or full back slot that's been fit at least that can do what Alves could do. And Cancelo is a big step towards that. He's been very useful as well for Juventus. A pretty popular player, not always in the team, but at times he's been fantastic. And I don't suspect it'll be any different here. In terms of position, he's obviously going to play right back, but often I suspect we'll see him a lot further forward than your traditional right back. I suspect we'll see a lot of free in the back situations now because Guardiola loves to experiment with that. I would not be surprised to see some kind of like free at the back. With Fernandinho stepping in there, or maybe Kyle Walker, but Cancelo playing almost as a right winger at times, using his pace, his athleticism, and his technique to get forward and be incredibly useful because he's very good at that. I mean, even Juventus at times, Allegri brought him on at one point. I think they were losing away at Lazio. He brought him on and he won a penalty, then he scored the winner. He changed the game on that occasion, and he had a couple of man of the matches as well when he was at Juventus. So he's very, very adept at getting forward and changing, having big impacts. And I can see someone like Cancelo being very useful at right back or right wing back, kind of helping break that low block. He's very, very comfortable at going the outside. And given the fact that at the moment, Bernardo seems to be our first choice right winger, I'm sure Bernardo will come in field at some point, but for now, he seems to be Pep's go-to man on the right. He naturally cuts in. We're going to have someone naturally overlapping with much more ability to get forward and be useful than Kyle Walker has. Walker tried to get forward, but didn't do anywhere near as much you would expect him to. And I'm going to guess that was simply on instruction because it's not really his game. We often saw De Bruyne kind of drifting into those inside right spaces with Bernardo there. Walker trying to get forward and link for them. I think Cancelo will link absolutely brilliant with De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva, and that'll be genuinely terrifying. Those teams that sit back and have that kind of low block kind of thing, they're going to struggle a little bit basically because we've got another option now. Someone who can actually beat people from deep. Someone who can actually burst forward and cause problems on his own. We've all seen that gif as well going around on Twitter with that outside of the boot pass. He's technically very, very good. In terms of his squad status, this isn't a player, in my opinion, that's been brought in just to be a backup to Kyle Walker. No, he's so much more than that. He genuinely is. For all the reasons we've just outlined, this is a guy who brings something different in. And I always maintain that the key to an ever-evolving squad and the key to success, and Guardiola and top managers will say this too, and we all say the same thing, is constant growth as a team, constant tweaks, constant changes, constant ideas. And now we've got a player who's coming here, and he's not coming in as Kyle Walker's backup. He's coming in as a first team player to give options, to change things up, to let us basically experiment and kind of deviate from our usual system. Expect to see plenty more 3-4-3s and all that kind of stuff, 3-5-2s every now and then. Often he will just play his right back, definitely, but this is not as simple as him coming in and rotating every now and then with Kyle Walker. They'll both play different roles depending on the game, depending on who we're against. And I'm sure often Kyle Walker will be preferred in games where it looks a little bit more tight, but this every now and then we'll see Cancelo preferred as well, when he can maybe expose some of the kind of weaknesses on the left hand side or something like that. Basically, this is a big step to challenge Kyle Walker. Walker is loved by Guardiola. I think that much is obvious given the fact that Danilo struggled to get game time. I think Walker is reliable, and I think Guardiola appreciates that. But Cancelo now has come in as a genuine challenger to Walker, and this is genuinely exciting. Like, he offers so much. In terms of statistically, I saw this stat. I think it was like 60 dribbles, which is more than any defender in Serie A. When's the last time you can remember a defender from Manchester City that that dribbled intently. Think of Kolarov with more pace, basically, and a little bit more technical ability, driving past people. He actually completed 2.4 take-ons per game in Serie A last season, which is more than every defender once again. In terms of his stats here, I've got some comparisons against Danilo. So Juventus and Inter, so go through Cancelo, we've got Juventus and Inter games, 62 games, 2 goals, 8 assists, 270 crosses, 125 dribbles completed, 333 recoveries. In the same amount of games, Danilo had 4 goals, which is more, half as many assists, like a quarter as many crosses, a quarter as many dribbles completed, and 2/3 as many recoveries completed. So basically, Cancelo is much more productive in terms of overall stats and that kind of thing. I am really, really excited about this guy. As I said at the start of the video, he's 100% comfortable in big club environments, given he's played for some massive clubs, Juventus, Inter, Benfica, Valencia. He's played across a broad spectrum of leagues. He's totally and utterly at home in big competitions, and he also knows the Manchester City players and the styles, and he'll fit into this team like a glove. He's going to basically give teams something to think about once again. We're going to have so many players on the pitch that can break you with a pass, be it Mendy, Angelino, Zinchenko, Rodri, De Bruyne, Gundogan, David Silva, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, now Cancelo, Sterling, Sane if he stays. Basically all these players that can get you from some angle. So if he's not going to get you, he's going to get you. And that's what I like about this. Cancelo brings in a dynamism that this team maybe lacked a little bit in the Writers this time. And it's more part of, once again, Guardiola's complete evolution of this Manchester City team. We're getting better and better and better. And this is a sign that could be genuinely as fun and as important as Rodri to this team. I feel like now, we won't probably sign anyone else unless some miracle happens. I feel like now we've got a squad that is genuinely better than last season. Let's just hope we dig in and don't sell Leroy Sané. And all of a sudden this squad is genuinely excellent. It's complete and it's very, very good. I'm not worried about the centre-back slot at all, because I'm sure Fernandinho or Walker, especially Walker now we've got Cancelo as well, can step in totally at home and be totally at ease there, especially some of the younger lads as well, like Howard Bellis or Garcia or even Rodri at a stretch. This is a very good time to be a Manchester City fan. This is a fantastic player. I'll do more content. I'll try and get some Serie A expert in to talk about him a little bit. For now, I'm very delighted. Let me know in the comments what you make of this signing. It's a good one, isn't it, guys? A very good one and a very good player. For now, though, make sure you subscribe. If you're new to this channel, thank you to all the patrons who help support this channel. You're all absolute heroes. And go and enjoy our new player in a bit.